Hi there, Virgo. Let's get into it. So the Chariot card here. So I'm going to go actually to the bottom of the deck because I think it's very significant to this conversation. And this Sagittarius just had this card. This is the straw that breaks the camel's back. This, for me, when this card comes up, there's been some sort of mental stress and strain in your life, and you're done. When this card comes up, you're just done. It's like a light switch being flicked off, and that's it. You're done. You're never gonna deal with this again. Tolerate it. That's a better way. It's just this very important shift. And again, at this point, it doesn't have to be some like huge tower event that happens. It can be something quite small, but that straw that breaks the camel's back, it's whatever you've been sort of denying or not dealing with or tolerating because you felt like you had to, for whatever reason, something shifts and you are just like, what the hell am I doing? Why am I dealing with this? Why am I tolerating with this? And you're not going to do it anymore. And that's the underlying energy. Why am I going through I mean, it could be you're sick of yourself. Or want to say you're sick of yourself, but you're like, why have I been tolerant? Why have I been doing this? Why have I been going to this, living here in this job I hate? Why? What am I doing? And it just is that realization that shakes you out of your complacency to start figuring some things out. So this is going to be a month of a wake-up call type of a month. And you're going to want to move. You're going to want to change that. You're going to make a plan like I was talking about. You're going to figure out, where is my destination? And I know everyone says life is the journey, and that's true. But because I don't feel like we ever really get exactly where we want in our life, but we should have that plan and that destination. So it's always in the forefront, and it's always part of our decision making, and it doesn't get lost. And we're not all of a sudden looking in the rearview mirror going, shit, I missed the exit. Where am I now? This isn't where I wanted to be. Be careful. Be careful if you're driving on a very mundane level that you have an idea of where you're going and don't just trust only your GPS, because sometimes GPS takes you on a route that really isn't a route or you really shouldn't go. So on a very mundane level, be careful when you're driving that you really do know where you're going, because you may miss a turn or have to turn around or something like that. You could get a new car. I always have to throw that out with the Chariot. But you may be moving, you may be traveling, you may be like, maybe you watch HGTV and you see some people who are moving to Costa Rica and you're like, I've always wanted to do that. I don't need this big house I have. I don't want to be tied to this. Or wait a minute, maybe there's a way I can do my job online and work and live somewhere different. It's that type of reassessing. Like, are you really stuck where you are? Are you really all those excuses basically that I just ran through? Is that true? Is that real? Is that really how it is? So you have the Page of Cups, a new beginning, a new emotional beginning, an offer, a change in how you feel. And this is the big change in how you're feeling. You want to live your life differently, because you're sick of going through the motions of feeling complacent in your life, of allowing life to live you instead of you living your life and directing your life and being in charge of steering your life where you want to go. You want to take action and not just react to everything. Think about that emotionally. People who are very reactive. Boy, I can think of someone. I would say, President Trump is very reactive. He appears to me, and I'll get tons of negative comments and I don't care, to react to things instead of having a thought out plan and keeping that in mind as you're living your life. So make sure in life you're not going to want to be reactive anymore. You're not going to want to be, well, I took this job because I had to get out of that job, but this isn't really the job I wanted, but it was a quick means to an end to get me out of this negative situation, correct? So that's what you want to stop doing. And by changing that, by understanding how, in what areas of your life you may have been um, carrying out your life that way, you're going to make the changes. And it's going to really, you're going to feel much more stable emotionally and much happier emotionally, because you won't feel like you're that pinball being banged around and just having to always deal with things that seem stressful. The Four of Gardens is about boundaries. You're not going to be anyone's puppet. You're not going to dance for anyone. You're not going to just do things because of what's, again, in reaction to what someone else is doing. You're going to put up boundaries, you're going to make your own decisions, and you're going to steer your life the way you want to. This is the Four of Pentacles for me is really a card about boundaries. I mean, you think about it, it's the guy holding on so tightly to his money. Again, super strong boundaries to the point where he disregards other people in his life or her life. It can be, it's not gender specific. Anyone can be a selfish hoarder. But there are some places in your life where you may need much stronger boundaries if someone has not been respecting your wants and needs, and you get halfway, you get into your life and you're like, crap, I've been doing everything for my partner or my child or my this, or I mean, of course you do things for your child, but it may get to a point where you need to make some respectful boundaries and allow everyone to sort of deal with, we all have to deal with what our own issues. You don't have to deal with everyone else's. So a real card of, so you're going to figure out where you're going. You're going to put up boundaries because you want to change. You don't want to be reactive anymore. And it's a process. This also came up with Sagittarius. It is a process, and that's okay. So allow yourself to that it's going to take a little bit of adjustment for this new way of life. And every once in a while you'll be like, darn, why did I do that? I slipped into my old pattern, and that's okay. We're human, and it will take a while. I also see you, and this was strong, you really wanting to maybe start your own garden, plant flowers, be in touch with nature, live somewhere a little more rural, live somewhere with a nice park where you can get outside. If you live in an urban setting, be near water. Nature is going to be very important to you. Something about that. Eat more organic foods, maybe. That's something, a healthier lifestyle, maybe. Serenity, peacefulness, groundedness. That's a type of energy you want to be moving towards. And then you end with this beautiful Ace of Wands, which is the Ace of Swords. And so this is getting really focused. It's cutting away all the crap that just isn't yours, isn't needed, is cluttering up your life, all the excuses, all the mental masturbation, that where you just, analysis paralysis and worrying about all these other people, and it's not selfish. It goes back to this. Don't need to be someone's puppet, and don't be someone else, and don't be treating someone else like a puppet. It's getting clear boundaries, cutting away. Remember, we have this 10 of Swords, and the 9 of Swords too. We were worrying. What's beneath that? And the 8 of Cups, yes. Walking away. Done. You're done with something. You're walking away from something that is no longer working. You were worrying. It was taking an enormous amount of energy, and you're just done. You're not tolerating it anymore. You're getting really super focused on this with the Chariot. It's like, where am I going? I'm not reacting. I'm not living my life for someone else. I'm figuring out where I want to go, and I'm trimming down. I mean, maybe if some of you want to do like a tiny house, or it's like you're going to consolidate, and this spring cleaning, somewhere where you can have more time in nature and enjoy life. It's kind of like a new breath. I mean, this is the wind. I just like this. You want the breeze on you. You want to feel the sun. You want to be connected to the earth. And and feel more alive instead of numb and just going through the motions. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful month. Take care.